Welcome back, everybody, for another Art Juice. This is episode 64, Spring Maiden. Many of the art juices I create are just morning impulsive drawings that are meant just for fun. And I usually just throw them up on a short or a reels or whatever those little videos are called. But this one was a little more involved, and I thought it was worth a slightly longer examination. And by slightly longer, I mean maybe 9+ minutes. This is a lady looking over her shoulder, her head's tilted back, and she's looking behind her. And it's sort of done in a kind of Pop Surrealism, big-eyed girl-ish, slight anime influenced-ish. Is by no means trying to be real. It's exaggerated, expressionistic, if you will. Just trying some different looks than things I'm usually not used to. So I'm just putting in longer video of this process, and excuse the pulsing focus. I keep forgetting to set the focus on my phone when I film these. I get too excited about the drawing and I don't pay attention to the camera part. Okay, whatever. So I've just been drawing in the figure, and I've been working on the eyes, trying to get those correct. The figure is like this AI generated zombie chick, and I didn't really want to go for full zombie, so I'm just sort of pulling elements of the head and the neck, and then I'm just sort of making up stuff and putting in flowers and things. And so here I'm just working on a little tattoos on her arm, as Spring Maidens are wont to have. And I keep practicing this kind of head tilted back look, just to see if I can get better at drawing the jawline when it's tilted backwards, so it looks natural. And I'm practicing the way that the nose is positioned, the eyes come down, the ears come down, in terms of because the head's tilted backwards rather than your standard front-on look. So I just practicing and just penciling in and doing some hatching, shading kind of things, and noodling in some little details and stuff. And so here I'm laying in soft color tones using some cheap made in China Amazon watercolor pencils. I have some other types, but I just have these at the ready. I just have them there. They're easy to grab, and they're fun to use. That's the thing. And part of the practice is also having fun with the drawing process. And so I'm trying some unusual colors. This has been a thing I've been trying for a couple of weeks now, where I'm just sort of doing this weird pop color process just to shift things up, break out of the normal mode. And so these things, some are hits and misses, some are good, some are bad. I don't know, but it's a fun process to play with. Been doing a series of oil paintings as well, but I'm not filming the process of those. And it's just a fun little color study, I guess you could call it. And just doing some flowers and stuff. But so these watercolor pencils are great. They're, for the price, they're great. I don't think they're very super saturated, because they are kind of, just student grade-ish pencils. But they get the job done. And so this is like kind of a mixed media piece in a way. And I just, graphite, and that's just in there giving some tone, and then coming back in with different colors. Is that a fuchsia? What do you call that weird purple pink? And some oranges. And then I like to, I just like to go for it and see how it turns out. I don't really have things fully planned. Trying to better understand my process and how I can use these kind of bright colors more naturally, and natural meaning just instinctually for my purposes, but it's fun. And they make these nice little bright pieces, which is a good contrast to the usually black and white ink work I usually do with some goofy monster or something. So these are looking pretty good. And then I went ahead and did like just a bright yellow background. I'm trying brighter color backgrounds too. I think the next step in these is to put in more desaturated colors so that I have more control on where I want the brights to really pop. And this kind of happens accidentally just because of the wash is picking up a lot of black and smearing some of the pencil, and so there's a little bit of a murky tone that comes out. You can see like there on the jaw or something, but it actually, I think, works in the favor of the piece. That helps the colors look even more punchy. And so I'm just using a very cheap water brush pen, I think is what they're called. And I don't fill it with water. I just use it for dipping in coffee. It's probably dipping in coffee. I don't know. I like painting with coffee. The brown tones help also with some of that desaturation aspect from the tannins in the coffee. And just loosely getting the skin tones, which you can see aren't consistent. They're kind of modeled. If it was varied tones of like bright reds to purples, and there's hits of orange in there and stuff. And then the outlines, I am playing with different bolder colors on the outlines. Like the shoulders have like cerulean or some sort of bright blue. The jawline has orange and purples, and it's just fun to kind of play with those little hits of color. And then now I'm coming back in and just reinforcing some stuff. And here, this is the third element, is colored pencil. So once you got the soft watercolors down, especially when I'm using these like cheaper watercolor pencils, I'm coming back in with Prismacolor soft color pencils to pop some colors in there. I think I have a set of 48 I picked up on Amazon for a good price. I wish I had 100 million of them, different colors. Might buy a bigger kit. But so these are fun. They blend if you kind of mush them around. I often do a lot of blending of these with the white one for some reason, which I know makes it look a little milky, chalky. I don't know. It just seems like it works really well. But you can see the colored pencil really pops on top of the watercolor. And that's a really neat thing to think about, is the way you can bring color forward with different mediums. And I'm just refining stuff with white. So I hope you guys like this process. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll try some of your own. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.